Which brings us to part 3. Now, part 3, you know, because basically I think I pretty much explained everything that you have to understand. The thing you must really wrap your head around is the difference between a tech device and a bio device. There is just one bio device, and that's the brains of the humans. Tech devices can still be utterly connected to one another. Brains cannot. Once you break off the connection, you might still have standing. You will be given chances are, depending on who exactly you are, you will be given horrendous routines that might make you feel as if, depending on your flavor, haunted by demons or aliens are communicating through your filling in a tooth or something, whatever the fuck. As if you had still had a direct connection. And as I said, some of this is used as I said over a year ago in a video, some of this is used as what I call spyware, by which I don't mean what usually is called spyware, but mindware for spies, so that Agent F can communicate with Agent J or whatever some people want Agent F to believe is Agent J, and whatever some people want Agent F to believe Agent J is going through, or Soldier F Fitzgerald and G. Jones. Oh, what the fuck ever. Once you get out of connection, namely really your brain, out of any reception, you're out of it. Everything else is proxy tech placed with you. Now, I don't mean to belittle the proxy tech. I certainly do not want to belittle the proxy tech. I do want to make clear, though, that it is nothing at all like a brain-to-brain connection or even a brain-to-proxy tech connection. This does not resemble a real connection, nor will it ever. And if they placed 38 fucking proxy tech gadgets around you, this is still not what a real connection was like. What they can do via this, greatly simplified, not because I want to make it short here, but because to a certain extent the details are pointless, and to a certain extent therein I never bothered examining them. But what they can do is they can, with the proxy tech, give very, very clear commands, if you will, to your nervous system, other than the cognitive parts of your brain, much better than they can actually give you content, so to speak, for the brain. So little setup changes and shit like that are a piece of cake, even with proxy tech. And those can be pretty scary to people who don't know what the fuck is going on. In fact, those can be horrendous even to people who know more than anybody else in the world what the fuck is going on. Yet, it is not a real connection. That is a very important thing. They can give the instructions that your brain/nervous system must spread its figurative legs wide as possible to allow whatever might be shoved in and extracted out via the mere field. But that falls miles and miles short of a real connection. And just for completeness sake, I owe it to myself to also mention that even back in those days, when it was possible, I mentioned that in the documents. I say some of these things because you fuckers don't come read my documents. Even what happened then was pretty unprofessional on a certain level, such as a whole lot of the forced verbalization being horrendously fuzzy. And now in retrospect I understand that some of it wasn't because it was fuzzy, but because it got tempered and messed with, because they had the second proxy tech fuck into the field, and or have the second proxy tech give instructions to phases and or the other. I see, when I say master number, I actually have 3 master numbers. That's my definition for master number, namely for the breadth setup or left side setup, as I explained in the last series of videos, for the US ports list on the right side and for the EU ports list on the right side. 3 master numbers. Although with the 2, one could argue what is an extension in a figurative way. I have never, I have mentioned that in the past, and again, who gives a rat's ass, all the things I mentioned in the past. No, I have never seen a number, whether, oh, how many digits does it have? And is it alphanumerical, or are there Greek symbols in it, or something? You go fuck yourselves. But before you do that, should you find the time, either save the world or come fucking kill me in order to give mankind an outside chance that the filth out there is so stupid that they kill themselves first and have a few people remain. One another, not themselves, sorry. One another. So, this is no longer possible. Nobody out there can still get a brain-to-brain connection. And you people out there who have never experienced this shit can be given at minimum intensity this shit here and go, oh no, I have the connection in my brain. You don't have fuck. None of you people know at all what this was like. Especially as I got, how do I bloody explain that? I got supercharged with static. Is this the red? No, this is salmon. That's the one. I got fucking supercharged with static. I don't even know how to visualize this here. It's as if okay, that was orange. This is salmon. It's as if, no, that doesn't make sense in an illustrated way. That does not come close to what it was like. Anyhow, when I wrote in the past that none of you fuckers would survive this for a day, what I meant was none of you fuckers would survive this for a day. And I know you're sitting out there thinking, yeah, boy's Rambo, huh, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I'm a Marine. I can do more than fat lordy boy in Vienna. You are filth. You are utterly had for decades. You were had when you pooped your pants, such as I, such as everybody out there. What are you afraid of? That they know all the secret launch codes for the nuclear missiles? They do. Yeah, so what? What's the frickin' problem? If nothing else, have someone come to my door and explain to me what is the fucking problem? What are you fucking afraid of? You have filth doing mankind in. This is not a political fucking statement. They're so cruel, there's rulers and ruled, I don't like that. That's not what this is about. If you fail to understand that every fucking thing, down to detail, if you think, oh, I'm not so important that people come mess with my life through mind control, then you are wrong. People, absolute nobodies, have their minds messed. Absolute nobodies have the phases in their minds utilized as drones for all kinds of purposes, not used as antagonizing those people themselves, but for instance used as translator drums, when you simply, the fuck, have someone who speaks, Chinese say, connected in between whatever fucking computer. You don't speak Chinese? Well, let's tough. And the guy in whose brains you want to snoop around is Chinese, but he doesn't speak English or whatever language, well, that's tough. Well, you know what? It used to be that you just simply had the whole fucking thing go through a translator drum, say. And that's all. And yeah, it was a little fuzzy on the forced verbalization, because forced verbalization is not a good concept. Inherently, it is wrong. That was a sentence I didn't finish a few minutes back. It was not just deliberate messing through another tech device. It was the forced verbalization as such, as I have said in the past, is unreliable for tons of good reasons. You have people abused for everything imaginable, pertaining to every single political election, not presidential elections, every single little shit election, for decades. Mayor of fuck city, populace 229, rigged, as people deem it fit. Everything, every fucking merger, not just big or small mergers, not just stock, not just legendary company mergers or something like that. Wee little business shit, everything. People used to fuck around entire mankind's brains for decades. And I did away with that at least, which means that unless they have standing connections to the proxy tech devices, and as I said before, I'm afraid a whole lot of them still do, they can no longer be directly messed with just like that. And they can certainly no longer be utilized as drones. So, get people out of reception once. That is all you have to do. Get your fucking agents into the oldest World War II bunker abandoned 50 years ago. Make sure that they are out of reception once. Just walk them down there, have them turn, and walk up again. And that's all it fucking takes. And the standing connection will be disrupted, and it will not be able to be reestablished because I did away with that. Whatever the fuck your fucking Pentagon experts say, whatever the fuck the super fucking, whatever in your delusional sects and religions, the talkers with the dead, or whatever the fuck, and whatever the fuck you're sending big blokes to North Korea and Russia, and whatever delusion that is all about. I personally don't even want to go there. Yeah, I know I have the image stored somewhere of, I think it was Putin and the ponytail dude who gets fatter and fatter, whatever he's called. What is he called? I lost for that name. And that basketballer with Kim and whatever. You are so ridiculing yourself when filth out there is fucking you off. Every single soldier who has died since, hands down, Vietnam. And I don't just mean American soldiers. There have been wars elsewhere. And a whole lot of them were just as deliberately started and kept running. And this is what you protect. Why exactly? Why exactly? Because Jack Nicholson said that fucking line in that fucking movie, and somehow they succeeded to implant that into your fucking useless military minds as truth, and that they can't handle it? So instead you leave them at the mercy of fuckers who want to? I mean, oh,